Hi, welcome to Phoeniks. Today we're going to be showcasing everything Dory Grill. So firstly, we've got the MAG, which is in the electric. We also do it in the gas, in a 4, 6 or 8 tray. It can come with the stand, it can come with a heated cupboard. And then over to James, who'll be showing the D-BOX.
Okay, so there's the D-BOX, which is a basket rotisserie from Dory Grill, which can have 24 chickens in capacity. And the great thing about it is it's fully self-cleaning.
We're so excited to be showing you everything about Dory Grill rotisseries.
So welcome. This is for our Dory Grill. So this is our MAG, which comes in, this is the MAG 4 electric. Can come in 4, 8, 6,
and 8.
4, 6 and 8.
Yeah, sorry. So it comes in electric and it also comes in gas. You can have it on a stand. You can have it with a actual hot box, which can be in black or a stainless steel. Or it can just sit on a bench, depending what the requirements are. So the really fun thing about this is we can cook so many different things in it. So at the moment we've got whole chickens with just the simple spits. So you can have those chickens stuffed. And then we've got what is called a mid tray. So mid tray stops the juices from dripping down onto the item underneath. And also we're utilising the heat and also the lovely juices from the chicken to go into our pre-steamed vegetables. So it's going to be really tasty. Underneath we've got a pork belly. So James, talk about what you've done there.
Yeah, so I just tied up a pork belly and made it into a porchetta. I put it in the overnight. Overnight, just air dried it, a little bit of vinegar on the skin, salted it up, and it's already starting up a beautiful crackling on these things. I mean, it really works well with the crackling on the pork. You could even probably get a very small pig on there, whole pig.
So also, the big thing about rotisseries is you've got the heat coming from behind, but you've also got a water bath. So you're getting this lovely steam coming up. And
you can almost see it as you kind of look at a certain angle. You can see the steam kind of rising over as it heats the water.
So there's quite a few different types of things that we can cook. I might take you over to our accessories here. So in our Dory Grill catalogue on page 34, we've got different styles, and I wanted to bring them out because people aren't really aware of what we can do in the Dory Grill. So you can be doing, this is a flat style of spit. So you could be putting pork ribs in there, you can be putting a pork belly, so rather than rolling it up, you could have it flat. You could have half chickens in there, you could have quarter chickens. So, you know, your imagination, putting fish in there. So that's one style. So this is very French. So in France, you'll see these in all of the rotisseries. And so it's for your chickens that you don't fill. So if you're just putting a little chicken in, that's the way this works. And this is the spit that we have currently cooking with the chickens right now. So you can have chickens that are filled. So it's literally just a fork system that you spike the chicken on either side, push it in, and it keeps it still. One of our best sellers is a multi-basket. So almost all of our sales, people always ask for these. So you can see the depth of it. We have a lot of people who cut their chickens in half, brine them, and then put them in the basket. That's
you have all your legs, smaller pieces of cuts of meat in there.
You can also be putting vegetables in there. If you don't want to do a tray and you've got chunkier, you know, like your quarter style of pumpkins that is very traditional, you could be putting that in there. So then people ask us whether we can put whole animals in there. Hope no one's vegan who's watching this video. This is what we do for that. So this is where you can put your suckling pig on there, you could put your leg of lambs, you could put also a whole lamb. So we've got quite a few different styles. With the rotisserie that we've got going at the moment, this is electric, so you've got a bar, but we don't have it in action at the moment. But if we come over to the gas rotisserie, we call this flame grilled. So theatrically, It actually looks just slightly better for the show, but it still cooks exactly the same. So, and you can see the heated hot cupboard underneath that I was talking about. You can have it in black or you can have it in stainless steel.
A great one. I mean, I've only just been discovering it myself, and that this is always the thing to a chef sees, is that it's fully self-cleaning. So it's just as in a combi oven or convection oven. Once you've finished all the chicken, it's a basket rotisserie. It can fully self-clean. At the moment, we've got it probably half loaded. It can take up to 24 chickens, depending on the size, obviously. These are 1.3 birds here, 1.3 kilo birds here, size 13. The whole cooking process, from heating up and the chickens being in there, takes 45 minutes.
Cool.
And such an even colouring all over the things, the chickens.
James?
You also have a cleaning hose, so a manual cleaning hose. So just spray out the excess little pieces at the beginning before you start the cooking process. And a probe, so that when you finish, you switch it to probe. You can probe your chickens before taking them out to make sure they're the correct temperature. At the moment, we've just started on the process. So it's literally an on button, very simple operations. The on button, and then you go to your heat and you set the temperature. At maximum, it goes 5 bars. 5 bars is 230 degrees, and then 4 bars is 200, and the third bar about 170 to 180, and then so on down. We've got this at max today, so the 230 degrees for 45 minutes. And this bottom part, so plus and minus as well, is for your time. So 45 minutes is sufficient for this size bird to cook. And this is the button for just the rotation to take them around.
So when you're loading it, so you don't even turn it on, and it doesn't need any preheating, which is absolutely fabulous. Because with your combis and even with your rotisserie, you need at least 15 minutes before you can load anything. So for this, staff come in, load the chickens by pressing the rotating button, and then they literally, you just turn it on up the top, and it's already on full, and it's already on maximum, and they can just walk away and leave it. So it's very, very self-sufficient, and it can be used by not just your professional chefs, but your everyday
Yeah, it's
people.
extremely easy to use.
Like as in the operations as well. So like, obviously plus and minus with, like I can add a minute, take it off on there, even during the process. If you think you want them a little bit darker as you're coming towards the end. Once it reaches the end of its cycle, this is the best for it, it switches over to the keep warm.
Automatically.
Automatically.
So it doesn't, so if staff get busy, they get more orders, something happens, the chicken is still staying at that very, very safe 75, 76.
About 75 degrees, yeah. And then once it's got to that stage like that, you've unloaded all your chickens to serve. And then you literally one button process, just press the cleaning button here and then close the door. Undo the plug here in the middle here. Strains out the fat water into, basically you can put into this, so you don't get all the fat going down into your drain. You can disperse of that properly. And then so the wastewater is the second one. So when it's in this cleaning cycle, the wastewater will go straight through and then into your plumbing.
And that whole cleaning process is around about 50 minutes. And then it literally comes exactly the way as you started.
So we're selling these into IGAs, into Foodworks, Bunbury markets. We've got a couple of other places that we're selling into. So it's becoming more and more. It was funny because rotisseries were very, very happening just after COVID. Then they went a little lower, and then now it all seems to be coming again, where people are wanting to have that lovely theatre style. Because when you actually are showing your chicken, you've got the aroma showing, it actually triples your sale. So we've done quite a bit of marketing on it. So yeah, just having that show, it really does help increase sales.
And really easy for unloading as well. So there's these the special oven gloves, basically in there. You just put them on, and it's just a case of grabbing the bird, bringing it out onto your trays. We've got a trolley today to basically wheel it in front, unload it onto there. So it literally can be done from any kind of members of staff. It doesn't have to be a chef or a particular food handler.
In terms of volume, this is a relatively small rotisserie, but with a new technology. Like it resembles a lot like a convection oven. So that makes that we would cook 24 chickens in 45 minutes, and that replaces in the Dory Grill range the Sense Up, which is a lot bigger, but it would need 1 hour 20 minutes to cook. So actually, this allows a new technology of cooking, allows to do more volume with a smaller rotisserie. We did some tests with it yesterday, and yeah, in 45 minutes, it was cooked. Where on a traditional one, or even the other baskets rotisserie, you need 1 hour 15 minutes to cook. So it's very efficient as well compared to a normal traditional basket rotisserie, where you spend a lot more time cooking. Where this one, you cook in 45 minutes, you leave the baskets in, get the chickens out, put them in a bag, and put another batch and start again. So in terms of volume, you can get out of this rotisserie a lot more.
One of the things we found out as well with the testing as well is that a lot of establishments in Australia, they do the brining. But with these rotisseries, we found basically because they're both turning and then the juices are dropping onto the bottom ones, once they're fully loaded, it's necessary to brine, because all the fat and the juices are dropping onto the other chickens, keeping them all nice and moist. So they're basically basting each other as they're turning. There is actually today, and both for the rotisseries, we're doing a little bit of a Pepsi challenge of, I've got a couple of birds that are brined, and then a couple that aren't brined, obviously the rest of them are unbrined, and then we can test them to see if you can tell the difference.
Brine chicken are used a lot in Australia, because in Australia so far they were using combi ovens, and it's not, as a French you wouldn't say, not the proper way. With a rotisserie, we spoke to the manufacturer the other day and said, we don't brine chicken. You basically get the chickens in, and because of the fact that the chicken turn on each other and get the fat always moisturizing themselves, you don't need the brining. So that's as well an additional cost that you put on your chicken when you use a combi oven, where you wouldn't need that on a rotisserie, because the fat and the juices are permanently, during the cooking process, falling over the next chicken below. Some years ago, there was a German chain of supermarket that was about to launch several stores here. We did test with them on combi ovens and on rotisserie, and as Wayne said, they absolutely went for the rotisserie chicken. They were exactly the same birds, but the rotisserie chicken they found out were the best ones. So with this new technology, very simple to use, you don't need to be a chef, which for the MAG you need to have more trained staff. But for this rotisserie there, you basically push the button, get the chicken cooked, get them out, put new chickens, and at the end of the day, you push the button again to have its cleaning, and you're ready to go the day after.
Then will in it?
Now the water would be on the. You just get a little bit of water, but you get your vegetables not in the bottom directly, just in a GN container, and on top of the bask. And that's what they do in the supermarkets in France. They've put a container at the bottom with pre-cooked or steamed vegetable and finish them in a rotisserie. This technology of fan-forced oven and self-cleaning, from what I know, it's pretty unique. You've got other self-cleaning rotisseries, but they're more traditional, not ventilated with just heating elements.
It has still got the hose for the self-cleaning, and that's probably just in the beginning, maybe to get rid of any of the bigger pieces that are left in there. You hose them down, and then it's literally close the door, press the button, and it does self-clean. Like, very surprisingly well as well, actually. It's very well.
You've got the chemical down, specially made for fat grease, chicken fat, and not basically leave it on.
So this would traditionally just drop into your 5-litre canister with the chemical in it, and it just feeds it through there and pumps it through into the tube. Just today we've got just the sample of it to need. Roughly it uses between about 80 and 100 mils for each wash, and it's a degreaser rather than a soap. So it gets rid of all that grease splashes and stuff like this that's sprayed onto the screen. Under the doors.
One cleaning a day, you will use 5 liters of chemical. So it's pretty economical. And the chemical here, we've got it formulated here in Australia, that's got about $50. And so you've got, with $50, you've got 1 month of cleaning.
So just to go through, I guess the workings of the MAG, we have an emergency stop button. I won't press it, sort of thing. You've got temperature setting, right up to 300, down to 50. And then you got the 2 different controls for the turning of the spits. So this top one will turn those 2, and then the bottom one turns these ones. But obviously when we've got the mid shelf in here, it's not turning because it's not actually plugged into these little sections here. So it just sits on there away from it. So I'm not getting any movement from there. And then always have, again, like before, water into the bottom. And it actually produces, you can see the steam's coming up and around the back. It catches all the fats and stuff like this. And afterwards, it's just a case of bringing it out. There's a plug here. You would have a canister or a bucket underneath here, undo the plug, empty that into there.
Come and have a look closer at how the pork's going,
sure.
because it looks absolutely sensational. Come on, please, come over and have a look.
We do also have a trolley that can come out to it. Basically, it takes all the spits. I don't know if you've got an image there, Margot. So you can unload it straight onto a trolley, and it's got all the different levels. That also can be done with your prep as well. If you've got a cool room, a walk-in cool room, you can have them all on the spits the evening before, ready to go in the morning, sitting on the trolley, you wheel it out.
So we've got what James was just talking about. It's like a trough. So it actually it has a dip, and then you've also got the trolley where you can pre-prepare all your the chickens, put it in the fridge, bring it out the next day.
It looks beautiful. We're hungry.
All right, and the pork is coming out.
This is going 72, 73.
I'm getting 79 over on this one.
Fine. Later, that was we like this.
Round and round we go. One,
With the left.
So you saw, yeah, in 50 minutes, we had the chickens cooked based on a cold rotisserie. You don't need to preheat, goes directly into cold. So a lot faster than the traditional way. So now we're going to show you the cleaning. So basically,
the manual arm,
just go with the manual arm to get the biggest bits. It's warm water connected to the hose. So just to get the biggest bits out of it and moisturize all around. You can perfectly go with a water hose everywhere. It's fully safe. Yeah, you close the door and then you start the cleaning program. So it's gonna just start moisturizing and yeah, 57 minutes. So you do it once at the end of the day. In between, you just leave the baskets in, put a new batch and go and go and go. At the end of your shift, get the rotisserie on the self-cleaning and you're ready with a pristine rotisserie the day after.